Yo, yo, what is good, my boys? We here. It's Tuesday, April 20th, 420. Take that as you want. We
Do as you want.
facts. We here with another episode of the Radical Souls podcast. For the people that haven't seen this before, I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ethan, and as Chris would say, please subscribe peacefully.
Facts. I've been mad peaceful lately, but I haven't seen any results. So I may have to get real angry lately. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't subscribe, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna get ugly, alright? You here watching this video, it's in the first like 30 seconds. You have enough time. Pause. I'll give you 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Alright. That was time for you to subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're liking the content, and you're liking what we're talking
about. Hey, wait. Let's give him 2 seconds. Like the video as well.
There you go.
Dude, there you go. Like the video. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Exactly.
It's all love.
You're liking the content, you're liking the videos, you're liking what we're talking about, you like us. Like the video and subscribe,
You should.
Follow our Instagram. Ethan got a bunch of stuff that he's selling. He posts daily stuff. He's just slowing down the daily stuff a little bit more to push the sneaker stuff right now. But once he finds that balance, you're going to be getting some sneaker news, some throwbacks, everything. TikTok, we're going to be posting our first views of stuff. I'll probably throw on some Grinch Kobe since there was a big announcement on Kobe that we're going to talk about on the Reselling 101 episode that we're doing later in the week. But for now, let's talk about the podcast. So Chris brought up an interesting topic. We want to talk about it a little bit when it comes to, being Hispanic and having old school style parents with the new school of the things that we're doing. From there, we'll transition to the Knicks. Ethan brought up a funny ass meme that we're going to bring up in here. Since it's going to be talking about the Knicks and the Yankees and just those two things. Talk about some NBA action because we're in the fantasy playoffs now. All three of us made it. And definitely got to talk about that a little bit. Talk
about first round bye, your boy here.
Must be nice. And,
but supposedly there's a curse, though. Supposedly the audience,
first place curse. There's a first place curse still. Chris might not be blessed by that. And then
I'm going to be a victim of 2 leagues, but...
And then we'll wrap up with NFL and MLB. So with that being said, guys, let's get it.
Let's get it.
So, Chris, last episode we talked about Dogecoin a little bit. And, well, not a little bit. We talked about it a lot. And it kind of transitioned into a talk of, it's kind of hard for us to do those things when you don't have the background as some other people when it comes to the belief system of different ways of making money. So you want to kind of touch up on it and kind of re-bring the conversation back on what we're talking about?
Yeah, so I believe this had brought up just because if you're anybody nowadays, you know that there's 20 million ways to make money. There's not your traditional route of you just go to school and, you know what I'm saying, you're guaranteed money after. Like, but even that isn't the case anymore. And, coming from brown households that we all come from, that could be a struggle at times, I feel. And especially nowadays where, like you said, this what initially brought up this conversation was, cryptocurrency. You know how many people put in $1,000, $3,000 when, what is it called? Bitcoin was nothing and now they're millionaires. Like, it happens. It's rare, but, you don't get, a lot of people don't understand that. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. I know, it could be personable to talk about things like this, but it's like that could be a struggle that, especially coming from a household that we all come from, it could touch certain ping points, certain pressure points within your parents, because as imagine anybody else, I'm sure if you got a kid, you want the best for them, but the best for them, you just may not know. So I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, you want to start? Because I know me and you are like on different paths right now when it comes to the reselling stuff. Because you do it a little heavier than me, so I know they probably weren't too crazy with the idea. They had faith in you, but the idea itself they didn't have the grasp. I'm assuming, right?
100%. Like as soon as I got out of high school, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing for college? And after college, what are you gonna do with the degree? Oh, you're gonna get a job. Oh, nice. All right, you're gonna do retirement. You do everything." Like they have such a steady plan for you that you just have to build on your own, and you have to follow through with that plan. But there's so many
Facts.
ways, like Chris said, to make money. But they'll never understand that because they wasn't really raised the way with our opportunities like they did.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, just to touch up on that a little bit, I can't tell you how many times I've told Ethan, bro. They're telling me to sell this shoe. I know what's gonna go down with this shoe. I ain't trying to sell it, but I got a bunch of stuff over there. And it's an argument of when are you gonna get rid of this? I don't want you to lose the money. And I'm like, guys, the money ain't gonna be lost. If anything, I'm only making more money the longer they sit in that room. But
Yeah.
it's I understand because at the end of the day, like my parents came from rough parts of New York. My dad came from Hell's Kitchen, and my mom came from Washington Heights. Like all they know is school, and that's your way out the hood. Either rap, play a sport, or sell drugs. And obviously, they don't want me to be selling drugs. So, like for them, they saw it at first, and they were like, you could be doing this. I'm like, yo, look, it's nothing wrong. It ain't illegal. I promise. Like we gonna be all right. So, like that mentality is like what takes things off already. Off of it.
And following through with Dan saying, I was from the Heights too, but they didn't want me to get raised there. So straight to New Jersey where it was nice and, I guess, safe.
Yeah. No, and I feel like that's like I was talking to Tira, my fiance, for those who don't know, about this in general too. Just the different conceptions of like what our thinking is now and what their thinking was in the 80s, 70s, whenever your parents grew up. Because she was talking about that sometimes like she feels a certain way because her parents didn't go to school or her parents didn't do anything, this and that. I was like, yo, you got to think about it, son. Like they came to this country or they were just trying to survive, son. Like they were just trying to get through. They were just trying to, maybe buy a house somewhere, maybe get some kids, like aspirations of going to college and do, what, the rest of regular Americans were doing in the 70s. That was a dream. Like, as an immigrant or as a person coming from the hood, that's not a choice. Like a choice is let's buy a house. Let's focus on that. Let's go somewhere where your kids are safe. Like I feel like that was like the main thing. And yeah, obviously going to college and doing all that is the route that, or building something is the route that it would have been easier eventually. But, in the 70s, there wasn't YouTube on the tip of your fingers where you could look up a whole business model in the course of a day. You had to build all that from scratch and go to people and do this and that. Like it's not as accessible as it was. And I feel like a lot of people don't get that. A
Another
lot of
thing
people
too
just
is
see the surface.
yeah, and another thing too is it really depends what generation you are too. Because like for example, my parents they moved here when they were young. Like my mom was 16 and my dad I think was 13 when they moved to the U.S. Like my grandparents were in the U.S. already at one point. Like my mom
Mhm.
was born here and then she moved back to DR and then she came back to the U.S. My dad was born I think in DR, then he came in. Yeah. So many family members I'm thinking of. But yeah, like long story short, my grandparents were here at one point to build for them so they can go to college. You feel me? Like my grandparents didn't go to college
Facts.
because the minute they get here, like Chris was saying, it's about, yo, I'm living with my three other relatives in the same room in the living room
Exactly.
on an airbed. How am I gonna get out of here? Because I'm not trying to sleep on an airbed every night. Like I'm trying to be comfortable. And at that point, it's like, okay, go to school for 4 years and pray to God I finish your 4 years and live on this airbed in the middle of the living room with
Exactly.
three other people, or work now, pay for a crib, and build my future like that.
Facts. And a lot of people don't understand that, bro, because you talk to kids now and they're like, oh man, like my parents didn't do this. My parents should have done this and that. But it's like, bro, you're like, you're going to be like 33 in like a couple months and you're still living at home. That was not an option like 40 years ago, but like, I'd imagine like, I don't know. I could imagine my grandma telling, yeah, I got to go find a house, go do something. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different times, different measures. So that mentality, especially in the Hispanic, brown community, that is a thing, bro. My parent, like, there was a point in time where my parents told me at 18, if you don't got it figured out, you better figure it out because you're leaving. Like, if you're not going to school, you're not getting a good job, you're doing something, you're not just going to sit here and do nothing. So, you know how people take that gap year, like more privileged people, they take that gap year and they do nothing, like they don't even work, like they don't have a part-time job, they just figure stuff out. Well, you're different, but right when you're 18, just that wasn't an option for me. So, uh,
You want to talk
uh,
about your life and all those things? That anything you want to add on?
For them, it was college on top of college. Like my grandma, my mom, my dad. It was just you had to get a college degree no matter what. If not, you would have no job. Like that's what it was. And I knew after the associates, I really did feel like doing it. Like what was like in my opinion, I was like, am I really gonna spend more time doing this when I could be doing something else in my own business? And knowing that I can do it and make more money, because we all know business is infinity money. There's no salary to it. So I felt like I could do it, and thank God they believed in me somewhat. Just took a lot of convincing after years, but it happened.
yeah.
But same going by Chris. Yeah, they was right on top of it. Like, yo, after 18, you gotta figure it out. Like, it has to be something. And you can't be just laying down playing games. Like, you can't be slouching.
Where no
And
rent,
then
playing video games, you bugging.
and low key, like just to finish off the conversation, like at the end, like now that I'm 20, going to be 26, like I kind of appreciate them for it. Like I kind of thank them for pushing me to do something because like you just see sometimes not to eat shit in any matter, not to sound full of shit in any way, but you just see the people around you and you see them not doing anything, literally stuck in the same path they were 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and you're like, fuck, like, thankfully my parents pushed me to do something, like anything, it's better than just, I don't know, some people's accomplishment, grand accomplishment, but some people's accomplishment is just getting knocked up, like, or, having a kid, like, which, granted, that's a great accomplishment. Everybody wants to eventually get there. But at 18, when you don't have anything figured out, I don't think that's the best idea. But that's just my personal opinion. Everybody's life is different. Don't take that. Don't take that for what it is.
Ethan, anything you want to close out with?
Um, Honestly, if you have those type of parents still, like you have to appreciate them. Like Chris said, no matter what, they're trying to just help you at the long end. But if you can, try to help them understand you more. Like try to talk to them through it. They're like, yo, I'm doing this, this, and that. Shit, build them a business plan. Like, yo, here's the plan. Here's a 6-page paper. Like, you gotta find a way to talk to them, communicate with them, make them understand.
That's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
and just to close it up, you know, like we were saying before, we're Hispanics, we're blacks, we're all same community. At the end of the day, we're all looked upon the same. And where we come from, like I said, my dad went to Park West High School in New York, dog. It was literally gangs on gangs, hiding guns and weapons in their school, like in the pop-up ceiling tiles. And they would legit push it up, take a gun out, and just start wilding in the building, running out of school and stuff. Then my mom went to George Washington High School in the Heights, one of the worst high schools in the Heights at that time, because my mom used to tell me the drug dealers drove better cars than the teachers, and these niggas were like 17, 18 years old, bro. So I look back at all that, and I'm like, it goes back to what you guys are saying. Like at the end of the day, you got to appreciate them for being like that because they just want to see better for us, and that's the reason why all three of us are here right now doing what we're doing because they moved us to where they wanted us to be in safer places, so we can only have the best for ourselves. And at the end of the day, like Ethan said, just help them understand. And sometimes you got to understand that it's just not in their time frame or time zone, and it is what it is. Do what you got to do and keep grinding.
Exactly.
Like that's the quote. Keep grinding. Doing whatever you're doing, just make sure you're doing it at the best of your ability, and
Exactly.
people will fall in place. People will understand eventually.
Exactly.
So, speaking of keep grinding, the Knicks are playing right now. I just got an update. End of the first. Charlotte's up 33-30. PJ Washington has 17 points.
Bro, can we talk about like PJ Washington, bro? He found himself a nice piece of booty, bro, and he been on his game, bro. He's been on his game. I've heard that name a lot this season, and honestly, I was like, who is PJ Washington? And then I'm looking him up, and he goes out with that beautiful woman named Brittany Remmer that was like a complete like Instagram model situation going on, and I was like, I guess he's motivated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's gonna have a kid and shit. So, separate topic. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt that whole status update.
Let's hope T never sees this.
I said nothing inappropriate. Okay.
He just said she's a beautiful woman. All right. That could be the inside, the outside. We don't know what that meant.
Yes. Okay. That's
inside. But she's a great human being.
Great human being. Yes.
Perfect.
But yeah, back to Ball. Yo, the Knicks are trying to keep alive a win streak. They've won 6 straight. They're trying to go for 7 tonight. Julius Randle got announced Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Is that lock-in for MIP? Ethan, do you think that's most improved player of the year?
Easily. He's I can't even explain it. Like, no one saw this coming. Not even the Knicks saw this coming. And
you talk to us. You know we didn't see this coming at all.
Exactly. And he was MVP. Maybe not MVP. He was an all-star. Like, who would have thought he was going to be an all-star this year?
Would have thought any Knicks
did it.
Exactly.
But yo, Ethan, you sent the funny ass meme, bro. You wanna kind of talk about what went down on that meme?
So everybody knows Thanos. He had to sacrifice Gamora. Same as the Knicks. The Knicks are playing very well, but not the Yankees.
So the meme said, "Are the Knicks good?" Daniel says yes. I'm gonna put a picture here so people can see it. And he says, "At what cost?" And this dude said the Yankees. That was a funny-ass meme, I can't lie. It is what it is. The Knicks are good. We're looking great. I can't complain. The Yankees are going to be talked about down the line. Fantasy playoffs started today. How you guys feeling? Chris, I know you got a bye week, so we're not going to ask you how you feel. Just know you got that first-place curse on your way. E, how you feeling?
I mean, I'm not feeling too good now that I know Chris has Lamelo on his IR. I didn't know about, but it's coming back next week, you know.
And they'll say, when I win, they'll say it's because of the trades, but it's because of moves like that. Thank you very much.
He was out for the season. All right, let's talk about that, right? So he's out for the season. And all of a sudden, now he's supposed to come back next week after fracturing his wrist. Now, I have experience with a fracture. They told me last Tuesday that my bone's finally fully healed 2 months later. Do you think it's smart for the Hornets to really let Lamelo Ball come out here with a fractured wrist and rush the injury back?
Smart? No. But do they need it? Maybe.
So what do you do in that situation? I don't know if one of you guys want to, E or Chris, what are you going to do in the situation?
It's a tough choice. It's a very tough choice because right now in the playoffs, they're right in the middle. You don't have Hayward. You don't have Graham sometimes. And now you don't have Melo that's coming back. Honestly, you're forcing it by letting him play. But I have a feeling that he just wants to play. Like, he's ready to go out there and play. Because there's no way you rush a out for the season injury unless he's ready to play.
Facts. And I mean, you guys saw all the videos, too, of him dribbling a ball, shooting, using his handles, trying to get back. Like, he's itching to get back, bro. I mean, well, granted, like, I'm sure that's any player on an injury, but you could tell he's young. What is he, 19? So, I don't know. He's ready, bro. I mean, if you can give him a couple games and you limit him and you see that his play is to the same caliber, then, yeah, you continue to play him. I mean, if he comes back for a game or two and he's just stinking it up, you could tell, you pull him right back on the IR. I mean, it sounds simple, but I don't know.
I mean, let me pull up the standings to help us out a little bit right now.
What's his do you have like is there an after before of him on the court or not? Like his stats with the team without or not?
I gotta see what this. I know they haven't.
I know that's one of the main things they usually put out when a guy gets injured like that.
Yeah,
I just haven't seen it. I know I'm asking off the top, but
Let me see right now. So right now they're in eighth place. They were actually like not too. They were like in fourth place a few weeks ago before he got hurt. And now that he's gotten hurt, like Ethan said, there's been a bunch of injuries. They went like a little skid. It's 4-6 in the last 10. I'm trying to see what their damn streak is without him. It's not coming up, but if I can remember off the top of my head, he's been out for like what, a month either?
Yeah, a month. Exactly a month.
They're probably like under 500, like for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. No Hayward either. 100% under 500.
Yeah, so I mean,
Thanks.
and that's the thing too. I look at that like Gordon Hayward's hurt. You got Devontae Graham was in and out of the lineup every other week. Like, is it really smart to rush him back for eighth place? And you're what, 2.5 games ahead of ninth? Which either way, all you really need to do is stay out of 11th. Even though the Bulls and the Wizards have the same record now, but you know.
Honestly, that play-in looks insane. From Raptors up, looks wild to me.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there's what? Let's see, we're at game 58, 14 games left.
I find it crazy how look at like even like number I would say four to the Raptors like in the next
7.5 games separation.
yeah like that could flip in a matter of a week or so like that like Toronto would get hot and next thing you know they're in the eighth spot.
And I think
Agree.
the crazy part, like Chris is saying, that a lot of these teams play each other. Like I know the Knicks are playing the Hornets tonight. We got to play the Celtics again later. We play the Hawks this week, and I think we play the Raptors again. Yeah, we play the Raptors again. So imagine like the Raptors beat the Knicks, and they beat a few more people. They're back in the play without a problem.
Thanks.
And with all these teams playing each other towards the end of the year, it's going to be insane. What happened to Brooklyn, guys? KD just got hurt again. What do? You shut him down to the playoffs. You try to bring him back. You just hit the bricks and say, "Yo, we're going to try again next year." What's good?
You definitely don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, next year's the last year. Last thing you need is this dude tearing something like a calf muscle or something being out next year too.
What you think, E?
Harden's out indefinitely now, and KD just got hurt. Oh, I don't know what to do. Like you got one more year in your contract. You're already second. I guess they come back in the playoffs and you're good. But if they don't come back in the first round of the playoffs, and they play the Knicks, Heat, or Celtics, I don't know. That's a look kind of crazy with just Kyrie and Blake Griffin out there.
Yeah.
Chris, I found the answer to your question. The Hornets are 8-7 without Lamelo Ball this season. So
Okay.
one game over 500.
I'm giving him 500. Cool.
But
Alright.
Chris, what do you do, bro? You're GM. You're sitting in that table and they're saying, "Yo, do we bring back KD ASAP or what do we do here?"
Yeah, you bring back KD ASAP, son. Especially with just a year left on this contract. Shit goes wrong, dog. GM perspective. You bring him back. As soon as possible. But am I an asshole? Yeah. So, I don't know. You got to bring him back, especially if they're number 2 right now. You can't. And it's the Nets, bro. It's not the Warriors where they just want a chip, bro. You guys are close. You guys assembled this whole team. So as soon as he can be back, he's coming back, bro.
Yo, let me paint the picture for you. They give up more points than the worst team in the East. The Pistons give up 111 points. The Nets give up 114 points. The only team worse than them right now is the Pacers at 114.4, so a little bit over them, and the Wizards who give up 118. So, like, they need KD bad. And that's my thing. Like, I don't know if you should rush back KD because you don't want him to get re-injured. Like, he's hurt the same area. Like, he hurt his calf, comes back, hurts his quad, and that quad is a tough injury. That's one of those things that just, like, Ethan can tell you from experience watching Julius Randle, and it took him a few games to get going.
Thanks.
So, I mean, KD's still a bitch because Randall played on the same injury, but, it is what it is. Anything else you guys got for the East, or you want me to go to the West?
Go to the West. The more interesting side. Look at that separation at 4, though. Okay, go back up for a half second. 37-20 at the 4 spot. 31-26. You're talking about 6-game difference there. That's crazy. All right. And 6 games in the East. What is 6 game in the East buying you right now?
Yo, 6 games in the East is out of the playoffs maybe for some teams. 6 games in the West is, okay, I could survive a little bit longer to be in the 5th seed. Because look at the Lakers, right? Let's just say, for whatever reason, because Anthony Davis comes back, I think they said next week or this weekend. Whatever reason, they go on a 6-game losing streak. They're in 10th place. If you go on a 6-game losing streak in the East, you're probably out of the play-in.
Probably.
Because of how close everything is. So, crazy.
It's crazy, dog. I wonder if, like, the league will ever do anything to combat this disparity. I don't know. Or is it just forever the East is just going to be the weaker conference? Because how long has it been that the East has been the weaker conference now? At least a decade.
The last time there was strong teams in the East was
LeBron and the Cavs.
I was gonna say a little bit after that when LeBron was on the Heat. The Knicks were a number 1, 2 seed for a while. The Celtics,
that was like
good.
10 years ago.
The Pacers, 2012,
2013, yeah.
So, no, 2012. So 10 years, a decade.
Just about. Damn. All right. Well, it's not really much the league could do, but I don't know. It's crazy.
If you look at the teams, right? Let's look at down here, for example. You got Zion Williamson was cheesing hard as hell talking about the Knicks a few nights ago after the Knicks beat them in overtime. You have the Kings where De'Aaron Fox signed an extension, but we've seen in this league now that signing an extension doesn't mean anything because you can literally just ask for a trade and be out. You have the Thunder who are down here, and they got so many picks that they could trade things all over the place, so things might change very fast.
You see that losing streak? 11 losing. Woo.
It's crazy because you have talent. Like, that's the scary part. You guys have raw talent on that team.
You guys see the Rockets too? Woo, we got that draft pick. Woo.
Damn.
I think the West is in trouble, though, because once the Warriors get good, right, Portland has to make some decisions over the next few years. The Lakers have a few decisions to make. Jamal Murray towards ACL, so we're going to see what happens with that. We'll see if the Clippers re-sign, and we'll see if Devin Booker stays on the Suns after a while. So I think it could flip at that point when all these guys' contracts starts to come up, like in the next 2 years, 3 years and stuff. And that's when I think everything kind of levels out a little bit better through the league again.
Jazz should never be 43-15 ever again. I don't want to see that next year, following year.
You think it has to do with that little bubble effect that's carried on from last season?
I don't know what it is, but I don't want to see it ever again. Gobert is not that good. Don Mitchell's impressive, but he's not that well. Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, I don't want to. Nah. It's a false first seed, in my opinion.
Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year? Nah, you're not feeling that?
No. I'm good. I'm good up there.
That's crazy. What about the Suns?
Yo, you know, I was unaware that Dwayne Wade bought the Jazz. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah,
I did not.
Utah Jazz. He's a part stakeholder of the team now.
Stakeholder. Okay, so he has a big chunk.
Stakeholder or owner? One of the two. He's a I know it's partial.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. I mean, he can't get Miami. Pat Riley probably looked at him and laughed and said, bro, I'm not giving you a part of this. You're bugging out. You bought me a chip. You think I'm going to give you a part of this now, knowing how much this is worth? With Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler doing their thing? You bugging out.
You know how much the entries got to be for a team like that in a market like that, bro?
Miami.
He probably got in the Utah Jazz because it's Utah. And you know what I'm saying?
No,
it's Utah.
I think anybody that bought Dogecoin could buy the Utah Jazz right now.
So.
You got A-Rod with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 15-43. Homie was heartbroken and made one of them heartbreaking purchases when you just buy something because you're heartbroken and you don't pay attention to the price, and then you're like, damn, maybe that wasn't a smart idea.
He tried to get the Mets, right? My bugger.
Yeah, he tried to get the Mets, and they laughed at him. And
Him and J-Lo together as a power couple.
Ethan, you're unlucky that did not go through. Because imagine
Could you imagine that divorce, like that separation, them legal fees, what the Mets would have to go through?
Yo, J-Lo would have been there on weekends, and everybody would have been there on weekdays. Dog. They would have had to split that like a child.
We're good
Oh
on
man.
that.
So speaking of baseball, let's get to baseball for the next 5-10 minutes because we only got 10 minutes left. The Yankees, like I mentioned, Ethan sent that meme. The Yankees have had their worst start since 1997. I wasn't alive. Ethan wasn't alive. Chris was like in diapers maybe, or just learning how to use a potty trainer toilet. Chris, what's going on, bro? Let's talk. Let me and you have a little vent session. Because Ethan, his team is good on that side. We don't got to talk about the Mets. They all right. We know how they start. They start good, then they suck. Let's not even waste our breath. Ethan,
Damn,
just sit
bro.
back and relax.
The Yankees. I don't know. I feel like they'll be all right.
Oh no, they're
Still
gonna be all right, but it's
season,
concerning.
You know what I'm saying? I saw today that Aaron Hicks kind of shook up the lineup, taking Aaron Hicks out. That's been kind of cold, putting in Clint Frazier. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dog. I don't think the Yankees have a big problem. Do they have a problem? Yes. They're only 15 games in. You know what I'm saying? Yankees tend to do this. They, maybe now it's in the beginning of the year. They'll have a slump. Sometimes they have a slump in the middle of the year where they lose 10 out of the 20 games that they play. I don't know. It happens. It's just happening to us first, okay? We'll get over it.
Like I said, I'm not concerned. My only thing that has me kind of is the pitching yet again, like every single year. And we've been seeing the Yankees just getting lit up when it's not Garrett Cole on the mound. Losing, I'm talking 6-2, 8-3. I think they ran up the score a few days ago in Tampa. I was like, oh my God, yo. And it's just the pitching is not it right now. Yet again. And then I see Marcus Stroman with the Mets, and I'm like, nice. Somebody I said let's go for, and they didn't trade for him, and he wanted to be a Yankee, and here he is making web gems for the Mets. Gotta love it.
Yeah, bro.
I
still can't believe they didn't go out and get Stroman, bro. You know how we would have been legit the number one right now with that lineup we got, plus really good pitching.
It was fear, bro, because Stroman, when he got to the Mets, that was the last year of the contract. The Mets re-signed him for a year, but then COVID happened, and then they re-signed him again. So I guess they were just fearful that they weren't going to be able to keep Stroman, and they were probably not willing to give him money if he went off on the Yankees. And then I saw Mookie Betts with a nice diving catch, and I'm like, another person I wanted. How nice. Going off for the Dodgers.
Mookie Betts.
Bro,
yeah.
I'm
crazy, bro.
We're going to be all right. The Mets, though, Ethan, you guys are looking pretty good. You guys have been rolling pretty nice. I can't even lie. But like I said, that's one of my sleeper teams in the National League.
Like you said, all due to pitching. If it wasn't for the good pitching, then we would be mediocre.
The crazy part is that the fact that you guys don't even have Syndergaard yet, it's insane to me.
Nope. Not yet. We got DeGrom.
Must be nice to have pitching and some decent hitting. Must be nice.
Who would have thought the day we're having a podcast where the Yankees are sighing and the Mets are happy about this
rejuvenation
right now? Yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful for us, but we'll give it a year or two. It'll be back and forth,
I give it a couple months.
Yeah, give the Yankees a month. They gotta get it together.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time for the Yankees to stop analytics, though? Before my bad for cutting you off, Ethan, but I just want to ask this quick question. Yeah. It's time for the Yankees to think about the analytics a little bit more and cut it off a little bit. Ethan or Chris, whoever wants to, knock it out first.
They're true to the game. It's not gonna happen. They're true to their old ways.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Ethan.
I think they gotta dial it down a little bit, bro. Like that resting people because of analytics, that's cool and all, but down the line, if we miss the wild card by 2 games, I'm gonna be tight because these first 15 games have been rough, all because of analytics.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just how it's gonna be. So.
E, you were gonna say something before I cut you off. My bad.
I was just gonna say, how do you guys feel about these other teams like Dodgers, Padres? Any
Um,
big teams you guys been looking at?
I'm a Dodgers fan. That's my NL team. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy Dodgers baseball, so glad that they're doing all right.
Yeah, I mean they were Brooklyn before, so I could low key the only time I'll ever claim anything that's Brooklyn related. But you know, the league is everything that everybody expected except the Yankees. Like I think the Yankees are the biggest surprise so far.
Yeah. So, and even no, well, you could talk about the Red Sox a little bit. I already thought the Red Sox were gonna stink, and they almost stink that bad. They stink, but they're not that bad.
Fuck them niggas.
I,
Yeah,
I think even if they went undefeated, Yankees fans can't even say they're nice, and they can't even be in the same sentence.
bro, they can go undefeated, and I'm gonna say because of the schedule, and be like, they played the Yankees when we sucked. I don't want to hear that.
So let's
But
see. You guys ready for this draft? NFL draft?
I just want it to happen. Like I just want to sit there and watch it because I'm so tired of all the speculation and who's going where and what's going to happen. And there's so
Y'all
much.
getting a quarterback though. Just know that for sure.
I know that, but like outside of this whole, they're gonna draft Justin Fields. They're not gonna draft Justin Fields. They're gonna draft Zach Wilson, and it's a lock that they're gonna get Zach Wilson. But they went to Trey Lance's pro day, and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, I'm just waiting for the day off. I can't.
Anybody's better than Sam Darnold though. Let's agree.
I mean, right now we don't even have Sam Darnold, so anything's better than whatever the hell is on that team right now.
At this point, they can sign me, coach. I'll play for $1 million. It's fine.
Yo, you give me 500,000, bro. I'm there. I'm handing that hoe off. You feel me? All day. Short routes all day. You just gotta pay me 500. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
There you go, Jets. Sign Chris for 500.
I'm like Big Ben. I'll take hits all day. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about me.
But yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about the draft? I mean, Ethan, you're kind of in the same boat as me with all these rumors, right?
I'm so confused. Like, we need this guy, the old line. Like, we need him, but people are saying, "Oh, we're gonna go for someone else. We're going for Kyle Pitts. We're gonna look for someone else." Like, there's
You
too many
get Kyle
people.
Pitts though. You know what I'm saying? That's nice. That's not a
I'll
bad
be happy with
like
that.
you need an offensive lineman, but that's not a bad replacement though. He's good, bro. So
I 100% agree. Like,
I've seen some mock drafts with him in the top like 3 or 4. Like, with just you don't see that. So
if it wasn't for the QB, he should be top 1. Like, if it wasn't for Trevor Lawrence and them being QBs, Kyle Pitts is a beast.
Oh, without a doubt, bro. But less than a minute. We're gonna have to leave it there. We'll definitely next week. We'll definitely talk about draft a little bit more since we'll have more clarity and stuff. And we'll just talk about who we want to draft. So, with that being said, guys, I'll see you on Reselling 101 on Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.